Welcome to Only in the Green Room.
Welcome to Only in the Green Room. Yeah. This is super exciting. We have a couple of veterans of our show here, and that would be Jake and River Eckert, who had been visited with us last year. I think it was at the Broadside at the Crawfish Fest. So welcome back to you guys.
Thanks for having
Omari and Cyril Neville, welcome. Man, yeah, you guys are the rooks, you know. So here we are at the Jazz Museum at the New Orleans, the first day of the French Quarter Fest. Second day of the French Quarter Fest. We just saw the Legacy Coalition play on the Loyola Esplanade in the Shade stage, which is not easy to say. And it was amazing to watch the generational pass down, so to speak. But what we got today, not only to watch that, Ari and River, but you guys sat in, Cyril. That was amazing. What was that like, sitting next to your son with this band?
Man, I told you that I told him it's like heaven every time you stage with him. And I told him when he was like maybe 3 or 4 years old that one day, dude, you're gonna be bad. You're gonna be way better than me. You're gonna be way more than I'm doing. So, man, I can't, there's no words for how proud I am. I don't, it's like, in any picture anybody took with me out there, gonna have this.
A lot of smiles over there.
I know.
So in translation, dream come true.
Yeah, Nirvana.
That band is the past, the present, and the future all rolled into one.
Amazing. Yeah. In fact, we're going to talk later to Mark and Mike Mullins separately. Mullins, and so we're going to get that aspect of it. But how about for you, Omari? Your dad coming up there, this band, you had your record, promote the record while you're at it.
It's like you said, it's a dream. Like, it's all I ever wanted to do. I didn't, as a kid, when everybody was in class saying they want to be firemen, and I used to say I'm gonna be a magician. It's like, you gonna do magic? It's like, no, I'm gonna do music. And it's like, oh, you mean a musician? So this is always what I wanted to do. Like, my dream was to play drums for the Neville brothers and stuff like that. So, like, to me, this is like what he said, it's a dream come true. So to see the rest of the guys doing the same thing with their fathers and stuff like that, and we're making it a band, and we're up there having fun. Like, it's no pressure. Everybody's bringing their own swag, their own like energy to it, and just making like just one big musical gumbo, and that's that's what it's all about.
And I love that, no pressure, because you would think it might be pressure,
Yeah.
River and Omari, looking up to your dads and trying to keep up with them. No pressure, right?
They don't do the pressure. If it's any pressure, it's we put on ourselves.
Right.
I speak for myself. I know I put a lot of pressure on myself just because of the giants that's in front of me. So it's like you want to make sure you're doing it justice, but I also want to like make my own lane as well. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Totally.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and River, we talked to you about this last year, about hanging out with the what we called the older people. And he said, I don't think anybody's that old. I started naming the ages, but how about playing with all these other folks? Did you play today? Go up on stage? Okay, so
Maybe
tell.
somebody could talk about how this whole legacy, how this got started. I mean, we can read about
We
it
will.
from your own.
Yeah, we'll get to that. For me, I'm just happy to see that there's a young generation, but like more people within this generation that I'm in, keeping the New Orleans music alive. And for me, back like, are we comfortable? Like, yeah, we're just having fun, because when us musicians from New Orleans, and when we see other New Orleans musicians born and raised here into the tradition of music, it's almost like we're family. Like, even though we haven't known each other our whole lives, it's almost like we do. Like keep up the family groove, you know what I'm saying?
It's working. And Jake, man, dream for you today as well?
Absolutely. I have, these cats are my heroes too. Of course, Cyril is a friend and a hero as well. And Cyril speaks for himself. We all grew up, here and everywhere else listening to that sound. And that is the sound. But the real truth of it is the young people bringing that energy to it in the same way when we were younger, bringing it when those sounds were fresh, when those sounds were new. There's a feeling that I can't put into words. And Cyril, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When everything, all those sounds were new and they were fresh, that's when that real magic comes out. And that's what you hear what blew me away, and I was with Cyril watching the first couple times they played, they got together, they all sang. It might have been Fire on the Bayou, Love the One You're With, or Tipitina, whatever it was. And we all looked at each other and went, oh shit, because it just makes sense to them hearing this by osmosis. Does that make sense? It's school book, or it's not by an assignment. It's by just presence and presence in your life, listening to the sounds like we hear from outside. There's no way to teach somebody that. That's real. That's what happens.
Right.
And I, was lucky enough to listen to Cyril and absorb those sounds. And I'm listening to them do it in a new way, and I'm admiring them. These are my heroes, just as like he's my hero, to really keep this alive and it come from a real place,
As parents, as parents, you don't really know if your kids are watching or listening, and sometimes you don't think about it, right? So to your point, all of a sudden, oh my God, they've got this, right? And you didn't teach them necessarily affirmatively, but you were just being around you. I mean, that's
and there's different permeations. I mean, the music all started here, right? I mean, it's like the root of this, jazz especially, and so you hear all of these different iterations of it. But are you talking about like feeling and hearing kind of that like you said, the traditional?
Well, take Omari and River, for example. Any given Mardi Gras season that he's in, they're hearing Big Chief.
Yes.
Hey, Pocky Way.
Yes.
Whether you're a Neville or my son, you're hearing this. Brass band music, jazz music, and it's kind of like tasting a familiar dish that you are familiar eating that you grew up with. It's not something that you formulaically tried to put together. It's something that was given and put in front of you that in a way that many people eat sloppy joes on Tuesday at lunch. In Nebraska or something, right? When you see that sloppy joe, you're gonna say, hey.
See, like Rupert said, family. That's the magic part about it, being on stage. First, my uncle and my brothers, then my brothers, and, then as transitioned, we had other family members being brought into it. So to me, every one of those legacy cats, it's in their blood. They were all born to do what they're doing, and obviously born to do it together. Because the only way you could possibly get focused in that is to be born a skunk.
We see this. We're from the Bay Area. We watched about 15 years ago. Phil Lesh opened up his Terrapin Crossroads bar, and his son Graham kind of was coming up. And God rest Phil now. And but what's happened in that community? In fact, Ivan is playing with those guys a lot. It's amazing. I think this is happening not only in New Orleans, but across the music world. It needs to happen more if it's not.
Music is healing. Music is a healing force. And it's also something that brings people together, And I'm talking about across any boundaries, like, for instance, the first time we played in Japan, and I'm looking at the people in the audience singing our songs, then we had a signing, nobody speaks English. So it's that magic that's in that music that bonds people.
Yeah.
And we have a thing here, very funny story about Dr. John and how he refused that the city decided to make a law that outlawed black and white musicians playing together. Not just Mac, but a whole bunch of people. Man, nobody, y'all with that. We not with that. And music was the catalyst,
Yeah.
And so this is what's going on. But a lot of it is about osmosis, though, because that's what New Orleans is. This is a musical city, and you're gonna hear it, whether you want to hear it or not.
Yeah.
And like I said, it was born to do this. That band is destiny.
Oh my God! How about that single? You want to talk about it?
Yeah.
That's it.
Single out right now, brand new day. That's like the first song that we all wrote as a collective together. And
Yeah.
I'm really proud of that song. I love that
Great song.
Like,
This
I'm
is a
feeling
great
like
song.
it's crazy that it's on like Spotify and streaming platforms. Cause I just go to my email and just be spamming. So I'm gonna have to
exactly.
I'm gonna have to switch and go and give it some plays. So yeah, brand new day is out right now. And that was, our first single. So y'all.
And that was the first time it was performed today?
It was the first time performed.
One of the first times.
It's like one of like a third.
All right,
third
top
or
three.
fourth
I'll
time.
take it.
Yeah,
There was a friend of ours, you guys know Nick Burleson. You may know Nick, and he was
Yeah.
on the side there. And his daughter is, I think, 9 years old. And she was like, "When are they gonna play that song? When are they gonna play that song?" And she knew all the words already, so it's
Wow.
Yeah.
working. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's
Somebody could have taken a video of that. That's
You
easy.
wanted to ask him about how did all this begin? The idea.
Yeah.
We know it had to happen, Cyril. It had to happen, but how did it really happen in terms of putting it together?
Yeah, I think it was an idea of the lead, Michael, the trombone player, and Brad, the guitar player, who they play in a band called Zeta together. And I think it was their idea that they've had for a couple of years, but it's just taken them some time to find the right guys. And I think about a year and a half ago, they called everybody and said, "We're gonna do the show at the Maple Leaf Bar," and
Oh, that's how they pitched it to you?
yeah.
Oh, okay. I got like a text like about to start. It's like a legacy coalition. It's gonna be me, River, you, and with the Dot. Now I'm like, dude, I'm in. Like, say no more. I'm in. So
Yeah.
that was how that happened. Like, but this is how I knew it was for real. He got this like marketing thing. He put like the Big A box. He made like a flyer for our like first show. It was like the Big A box. It was like all of us. So, like for some reason, when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, this shit about to be something. Like
Yeah.
when I saw it on paper as a flyer in that like original front of Big A box, so New Orleans by the way. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yeah, this shit gonna be fire.
Yeah.
Then when I showed up to rehearse and seen like all of us just in there just like smiling, like we joke a lot. Like River might be the most one I'm probably the most childish one in the band. like River's the old soul. You know what I mean? Like yeah, dude, like, and I just think that that energy that brought us together, like as far as like the respect level of everybody, musicianship, that's what made the Legacy Boys really like take off. You know what I mean? And it shows in the music.
Yeah.
It's not surprising that it happened, but I mean, it's not a guarantee, right? I mean, you're all different musicians and different backgrounds,
I
but
think it's
man.
rare, though. I mean, kind of rare. I mean, especially New Orleans music, and so, yeah. So, what's coming up? What's going on? What do you want to tell us? What do you want to tell everybody? Because we're gonna promote the heck out of this.
Well, with the Legacy Band, we're gonna be at the Funk Fest this year, and I think with that we're gonna have all the dads come up on stage with us. So it's gonna be like a huge party. He'll be up. Cyril will be
Y'all
up.
just got exclusive by the way too.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we can. I'm not sure if we can actually share this or not.
That's good. That's what this, like.
Yeah,
That's what these platforms.
yeah.
No, it's good. Y'all got the first drop, first exclusive.
So far, we're good on that.
So far,
Yeah,
we
you're
have
good.
editing
You're good.
tools. Yeah.
Editing's good, yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. All right, man.
Yeah, but the Legacy, the New Orleans Legacy Coalition will be at the NOLA Funk Fest in October, so that's what's coming up.
Okay.
We'll be with Omari's set on Jazz
The
Fest.
Jazz Fest. They come
Next
up
week.
and do the big, our single. So
Sneaking that in. And I know
I think we submitted our Jazz Fest application too late. So I was like, just come on, I said, and let's do Brand New Day. And you know, I've been watching my dad and my uncles and them do that stuff like their whole career, bringing up people and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to keep that tradition going.
one thing we like to do is bring a co-host in once in a while of some stature.
Yeah.
And I'm not. Oh, and also we have another guy here that we might bring in. It's funny.
He's got jokes. This guy got jokes. Anyway, I just want to jump in. My name's Jonathan McHugh. I've known Cyril for, 45 years maybe. Jake Eckert for 20-something years. And these boys since they were very young. I'm very excited because I'm directing a film about the 50th anniversary of Tipitina's, which anniversary is next year. Cyril's already been in the film, and I got to get these next young gentlemen in. But Cyril, watching them, as you talked about in the beginning, There's no way when they play that song Tipitina, you cannot get up on stage. You're smiling ear to ear.
You call me.
I understand that, bro. I understand that. But just in general, for all of y'all, what does Tipitina's the place and Tipitina's the song mean to you? Starting with you, Cyril.
Well, I used to live there. Literally. Tipitina, that balcony stuff, you know, that's fairly new. The first maybe 10, 15 years of that place, it was apartments there. And I lived in the apartment that is now the dressing room and all of that kind of stuff. And that's also the home of that was the first WWOZ radio. They bored a hole in the floor, drop a microphone down and went on air. You know, so, and me and my brothers did at least about 10 benefits for Tipitinas for different reasons, for air conditioners, getting the air conditioners in there because it used to be so hot. And I think we raised that money like 3 times before they actually bought the air conditioners.
Yeah, literally, I interviewed Cyril in the green room, and he goes, "This is like home." I go, "Yeah, yeah." Everybody says. He goes, "No. I actually lived in this room." And I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And I was like, "I slept there." No, it was an apartment, and he lived there. And there was a band called Satisfaction, I guess, lived down the hall,
Satisfaction lived down the third
So
floor.
it's just incredible, the
When
whole
Third Floor
thing.
first got together, they came here and they were supposed to be here for like 6 months. They were here for 3 years, staying upstairs with the team.
Right. So, Omari, what's your first memory ever going into Tipitina's?
Sleeping on the riser, on Willie Green's drum riser, and just, I don't know. Yeah, but that's what they used to be like, man, something must be happening for this dude to be able to sleep on that thing.
How
You know
old
what I mean?
you were?
Man, at 6 years old, he was in a band called Deaf Generation, which was all of my nephews. I tried to do the same thing my uncle did with us, with my nephew. Okay, so they were the first band to ever merge brass band and hip hop together. There's a song called Running with the Second, and that is the first time that it happened. And he, matter of fact, it was on this early morning news show on Channel 4. And he was on drums, you know. Yeah, no, he didn't.
I fell off
No, he
the
didn't.
fucking drums,
He was so
man.
into
Oh,
it,
God.
he fell off and bounced.
I was like, I freaking fell. Like, I have
never
like
missed a beat.
PTSD to this day. Like, I'm like, that's one of my biggest fears is falling off the drums because of that shit. And they just love bringing that up.
You know what I'm just saying? It's like bounce right back up, never missed a beat, right? So, like, from birth, you know, a witness to this, Idris Muhammad came to my house. That's my friend from when I was a kid, when he was Leo Mars. You know, he said, "Man, let me show you." And whatever he was about to show him, he did it. He was 6 years old. And Idris stood back and said, "Man, ain't nobody gonna have to show him nothing, bro. He came here with everything he needed." So, you know, that from the horse out, Idris Muhammad said that. And like, I didn't really try to force anything on him. I put the drums there, he got into that, but everything else that he's doing now, leading the band, the general on stage and everything, he got all of that from watching and never but watching Papa Funk. And now I'm on stage and I'm feeling the Papa Funk is still there. Which he is in
Tipitina
my
was
heart.
like the record. Like,
You know?
basketball, you know, the records, like, you ain't played it till you play the record. I always felt like Tipitina's was that, like, that was another, like, that was type of, like, that was my dream. Like, I'm gonna play Tipitina's one day. Like, you know what I mean? So that's how much Tipitina's meant and still means. Like, it's a big nostalgia trip when you go there. Like,
Yeah, you spent literally your whole life
Yeah,
down there
bro,
because you go
like-
and see him and then you play on your own. Jake, what's your first memory of taking River to Tipitina's?
River was in Tipitina's before he can remember. That's
why I'm asking you first.
You know, I could probably tell you. You know, River was probably in Tipitina's first, like Omari, because we had our children with us that we couldn't just leave them at home. You know, so it's sit there while we're doing this. You know, and it was with the Dirty Dozen in those years.
Right,
You know,
you were early Dirty Dozen,
I was
right?
with the Dirty Dozen, and that was my first time playing at Tipitina's. I think I couldn't tell you the first time I played. I can't remember, but it was with Dirty Dozen Brass Band. Yeah, 20 years, whatever it was. I can't remember how many years, but that was that was a rite of passage. When you get up, kind of like Omari's saying, when you are at Tipitina's, that's sacred ground. You know, shit. Cyril lived upstairs, man.
Right.
He put hoodoo on that room.
I mean, that's a sick place.
Yeah, and Tipitina's, the Maple Leaf, all these places, you feel those spirits live in the wood, they live in the walls, they live in everything, And New Orleans is like that, it holds energy. That's why people love it. You feel that with Tips, but to get back to the first time River played, was in Tipitina's, I would probably say he was before he could walk or talk.
Wow.
But
and River, what would be your
was
first memory of actually watching your dad play at Tips?
Yeah, I remember being in Tips when I was really, I don't know what age, but probably definitely in like lower, like first grade, kindergarten, watching my dad do sound checks and stuff. And but for me, Tipitina's, it goes back to keeping things alive because from what I've heard, it opened up to provide a steady gig for Professor Longhair. And that's just the first thing with Tipitina's that ever happened. Keep the thing going with Fest. But in my first experience with Tipitina's playing there was given to me by George Porter Jr. He put me on one of their annual tribute shows. That year it was Fats Domino and Huey Piano Smith. And that was my first experience being in front of like a big crowd, playing Tipitina's again. I got to play with him and like Stanton Moore and a bunch of other guys I really look up to. So Tipitina's is definitely a sacred place and definitely has got some hoodoo in it.
And back to Fest, like what was it, your attraction to that music, and how did you, besides your dad, obviously you found it on your, you got into it yourself and you emulated and played and built, and now you have this incredible sound of yours, and the world seems to be responding well. So talk about Fest and you.
Yeah, so my first introductions to music was my dad with the Dirty Dozen. Those are like Blackbird Specials, one of the first songs I probably ever heard. And because I was backstage in the womb, But the piano was always an instrument in the front of our house available to me. I could go plunk on the keys anytime I wanted to and pick out melodies that were in my head from the Dozen concerts. And once I got older and matured a little bit, I became more aware of the piano tradition here in New Orleans and guys like Professor Longhair and Dr. John and James Booker. And let's see. The first song I learned was a Huey Piano Smith song called Rockin' Pneumonia and the Boogie Woogie Flu. And from there, I started listening to the piano music, and that's when I learned Tipitina and Big Chief and a couple other songs too. But Professor Longhair for me is really just probably my like base level foundation of my New Orleans piano playing.
Well, it's great stuff, man. I'm good. You got more for these guys?
You can't
Go
get
ahead.
no more correct than that. You can't get no more correct than what he just said. Like, I had the experience of wanting to do something special, dance special. So I had a piano player in mind, I ain't gonna call no name, to start it off, took tea for a week, and I told him my idea, and he looked back. Dad, look, that's a good idea to have somebody do that, but not that guy. You need to get broke. And that's what he did. Like I said, okay, call it. And then I stepped out the way. And then you guys really say, don't worry about it. When you hear it, we did our job and showing up. We got to that part of that show when he came out, I didn't know what they were about to do.
Yeah, because I didn't tell him about your ending. It's risky for jazz. It's like, we can.
I was nailed to the floor. Man. It's like I'm hearing Booker, I'm hearing Fest, I'm hearing Art, and then I'm hearing him. Because in the middle of that, all of a sudden, you got to the point where he's playing knuckles in the back of his hand and shit, Yeah, okay. That's the real shit. That
We going pop, but he don't know when it's ended, so he's like,
I'm telling you, but I was like, that gave me so much joy that, okay, this is what your city is about. If you see something that is worthy, push that up there, So that put me on the roof.
yeah, thank you.
Next generation coming up.
That is beautiful.
That's the most thing I was
Beautiful.
saying.
And, what do you want?
Just talking about
Oh, yeah.
a lot of new albums coming out. Is that
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about that. Super important.
Well, we got the one, we know.
Oh yeah, and back to Tipitina's about the keeping things alive. Tip Record Club helped me out with my album, and
Nice.
they put it on as their add-on with the vinyl for this month. But yeah, my debut album comes out next Wednesday, 22nd, and yeah, we got the album release on May 4th, the Maple Leaf, and a very special guest. I won't say his name. though.
We're gonna
That's the exclusive part.
I will
We're
say
gonna see
George
you,
Porter is playing after me. That's all I'll say.
all right. I want to say, here's the last thing. We're going to see you at the High Sierra Music Festival this
Yeah,
year.
that's right.
Yeah. Have you heard of it? How did you get in on that one? Did you just word of mouth or booking
Yeah, I mean,
agents?
Must have been
Yeah.
John McHugh, they came over. We ran a Dave a year ago, and he said, I want y'all to play in High Sierra. I played High Sierra many times over the years of Prodigy as well, in the old place. And then McHugh and Dave came over. We were hanging, and we got it all worked out. Y'all are friends out there. I think soon enough, as long as it keeps going on, that we'll all be out there together.
Nice.
And I'm sure we can make that happen. But High Sierra is a special place. And we'll have a lot of friends with us, playing with us. We're going to kind of mash up everything out there because they got Dumpster Funk and they got Rumble and they got, I get to put Stan, some guys.
Stan's there, yeah.
Porter, Porter's out there. He's out there as a guest. He's going to, I don't want to spoil anything.
No,
It's
you
actually
spoil it.
nothing exciting. But I don't want.
We saw the new location. We went out there.
Yeah,
Don't miss it.
We were just there to the new location and scouted it out. We'll be there backstage. So
I think I played at that spot at the Strawberry Festival. I think it was the same. There was a music festival called the Strawberry Festival. The Suspects had played a few times, and I think that's the same
It could be, yeah.
location in Grass Valley.
Grass Valley.
But yeah,
No, Dave Margulies would be okay if you said anything about it to promote it. Don't you worry.
Suspects have another album, our 6th album coming.
Nice.
Omari, don't you have an album coming?
Yeah. My debut album, Omari Neville and McHugh, Voodoo, comes up. We got vinyls, everything, and as far as hard copies, we're gonna be doing a live show at the Louisiana Music Factory.
All right.
May 4th. So we'll be at the Louisiana Music
We'll be
Factory.
there.
Nice. Debuting the new album.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be cool, man. I'm really excited for y'all to hear this. I've been sitting on it for a minute, so.
So May 4th, everybody at the factory, all right?
Yes, Lord. It's a party.
Yeah. And Cyril, you have a new record? No.
Yeah. And it's coming out on the same day he is coming out.
May
And
4th.
I'm at that store, right after him.
There we go.
So yeah, the name of my album is "Don't Wait Till I'm Gone," and that's a song that was written with my brother Aaron, and he's actually singing on it.
That was his last song.
That's the last time he put his voice on something that is going out to the public. So that's May the 4th. Both of them coming out at the same time.
So what time do you play the 4th?
Like 4:30 or something like that.
And then
I'm at 5:30. You're at 6:30.
I got to get back with you.
5:30, 6:30, 8 o'clock, all on May 4th.
Oh yeah, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cyril, we all here in the
It's
green
May
room?
4th.
It's a Monday.
Oh, it's Monday. Yeah, May 4th. May the 4th be with you.
May the
Yeah.
4th be with you.
Oh, and that night I'm gonna be at Chikiwawa with Bonarama. They're actually having the vinyl release party,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm on their record too. So I'm gonna be there with them.
I'm also on that
have to say-
record.
Yeah,
I won't be
you
there.
on that record too.
I'm probably gonna be there too.
Anybody that's not in New Orleans now ought to be getting here real quick to see all this. Yeah. Well, guys, I mean, part of the Legacy Coalition right here, just a part of it. We're going to see some of you others later this week. But man, this was amazing. It was amazing to hear the band. Amazing to get you guys together. Thank you for coming in here. Thank you, Jonathan, for wrangling these guys.
Thank you for having me.
Thank y'all for having us, dude.
Absolutely. All right.
Hi, this is Tammy from Only in the Green Room. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to listen to part 2 with more Legacy members Michael Mullins and Bradford Lewis, recorded a week later at Bayou Rendezvous at the Broadside in New Orleans. Enjoy.